What's going on, guys? It's Greg here today, and I wanted to go over some shoot house tips and tricks, I guess, for you guys, as well as, honestly, this principle that I'm going to go over in this gameplay is going to apply to pretty much any map you're playing, but for me, I am going to be talking about positioning for you guys, because I play positioning a lot, and what I mean by positioning is playing off angles instead of playing angles that the enemies are going to be able to easily take you on from. So a lot of the time you guys will see that I tend to be flanking or something of that nature, and it's not necessarily that I'm trying to get flanks on people. Sometimes I will, especially though, like if there's a lot of people around, because you want to try to take on one person at a time. You don't really want to be taking on multiple people at a time, because obviously if multiple people are able to shoot at you, they're going to be able to kill you faster than you can kill them, unless they're missing shots. So you guys will see a lot of the time that I try to take people on one at a time, or I'll play an off angle, which allows for me to get shots first, and then people will have to react to me. Something that I don't see enough people using on Shoot House is there's a lot of little jump spots you guys can use, especially on like here in the, I think this used to be called tires or something, but anyways, it's where the cars are, a bunch of these cars. You can actually jump up on top of these cars, and people that are going to be running through like this area right here, this little underpass, we'll call it, they're not going to be looking on top of cars, right? Like, they're going to be looking for people that are on head glitches or trying to use the cars for cover. So while your body is exposed while you're on top of a car, it's just one of those angles that people are going to be like, what the heck is this guy doing? Also, to my left right here, you guys see that there's this like piece of cover here. You can actually jump on top of that, and you can lay down on it, and you can look through this arch here, and you can pick up some free and easy kills on people that are trying to hold you out, especially if they're hugging the wall to the right of me. You guys can hop up on top of that, and you guys can pick up some free and easy kills on those guys that are trying to wait for you. So there's like a lot of little jump spots you can use, and you can get up on top of all these crates and stuff throughout the map. And like I said, I don't see like anybody trying to use these. I just see like a bunch of people just constantly running full speed ahead on the ground, and they're just not using any of these pieces of cover, because like I said, you can jump up on pretty much anything on this map except for like where you see the barbed wire on top. So you could do that in Modern Warfare 2019 on this map, but in this game you can't do that anymore. So that's not a spot you can get up on. But again, there's also just still many other places you could do. You can also climb pretty much anything on this map because of the mantling system, where you can kind of like, you know, ledge hang and then climb over. So try to incorporate that into your gameplay as well, and I promise you guys are going to see much better success in your gameplays, because a lot of the time the way I play this game is I play a little ratty, you could say, because the way I like to play the game is I like to play angles, and I also like to play off angles and trying to make my enemies have to react to me, right? Because I don't want my enemies to be I don't want to be reacting to my enemies, okay? Because that way, if they already have shots that are going to be lined up on me, I'm going to be killed free and easily, right? But in the same time, if I am over here having them reacting to me, then it's going to be easier for me to go ahead and get the kill on them, because, well, again, they're not going to be able to get shots in first, and I'm more than likely going to be able to get the kill. So there's that. And I also want to talk about the office here on this map, because the office is something that I feel a lot of people struggle with, because there's a lot of people that like to get up into this position and they just like to camp, right? Like you'll run into sometimes even a whole team of players that will just be sitting in the top office, and they just will be sitting there with riot shields and claymores and proximity mines, and you know, they're going to be locking that position down on the map, right? Like, they're not going to be moving. So the best thing you can do whenever there's a bunch of people that are in this office area is you're going to want to put on drill charges. The drill charge equipment is very powerful, as well as the resupply perk, so that way you guys can go ahead and keep throwing drill charges. You'll have 2 whenever you spawn in, and then on top of that, you're going to have, they will resupply every 25 seconds. So you can throw them at pretty much any wall, especially like that back wall you guys saw that's right above the underpass. You could throw that there. You know, the people that are in that little corner there where you got to flesh them out yourself, you could just throw the drill charges there and it will blow up anybody's behind that. And if they're running the bomb squad perk, you got 2 with the resupply perk, like I told you guys about. So you guys will be able to throw 2, and they're not going to survive that, okay? So you can do that, and pretty much any of these walls you guys see, any of these back walls, the drill charges are going to go through. So there's no way they're going to survive, or it's going to have to make them scramble, which if you're playing with somebody, you could be like, all right, I stuck drill charges, you know, go, 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 and they'll go ahead and push in there, and they can flesh them out. So teamwork makes the dream work. Again, Call of Duty, even you guys might not think of it this way, because Call of Duty has always been known as more of a lone wolf shooter, you know, like there's always just kind of like people not really playing as a team, they're doing their own thing. It's still a team-based game, right? You're on a team, you're playing with 6 people in 6 versus 6, or in Ground War 32 versus 32. Although I would say teamwork is much harder in Ground War because most people, you know, you can't really communicate with them and all that kind of stuff, and they're going to be doing their own thing, so you got to be careful. But in 6v6, if you're playing with people and you guys can get a little communication going and being like, all right, so I'm going to throw drill charges, you know, at this top office area, and, you know, one of your friends, you can go ahead and try to flesh them out and play angles. Once they start scrambling, remember, they'll be sprinting around and stuff, so they're going to have to sprint out in order to react. And they have a sprint to fire speed that is going to have to make them react. So if your friend can go up there, start pre-aiming a little, you know, you guys can flesh them out. Promise, it's going to make things so much easier. But if you are playing solo, just, you know, go ahead and just slam those things at the wall over and over again as you keep respawning, or every 25 seconds, and you'll be able to flush them out. And you'll have a much easier time trying to flush out the enemies on this map. But those are pretty much my tips for playing this map whenever it comes to what kind of, you know, equipment you guys should be using, how you should be playing the map with off angles and all that kind of stuff. And I think that personally, I would say that this map is pretty simple. You know, it just comes down to, honestly, it's going to come down to the kind of plays you're going to make, the timing, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, a lot of the time people will post up on this map. It's very small. There's not a lot of cover. And if you want to challenge the middle of the map, and you want to try to break from map control, you're going to have to kill people that's off cover while you're exposed. So, you know, flashbangs, stun grenades, those are going to be the things that are going to help you guys break cover, because it's pretty hard in this game. I mean, you know, strafing speed, some of these guns, especially like this STB556, this gun has like no strafing speed at all, right? So for me, I'm basically trying to play off angles, and that's why I'm doing that with this gun, because strafing is a very important mechanic in gunfights, and a lot of the time people will, you know, they'll just go for pure accuracy on your gun or something. They'll just completely neglect using something that has good strafing speed. And the STB556 doesn't really have attachments to increase your strafing speed. So this is one of those guns that you just kind of feel like a sitting duck, and you're going to be a much easier target to hit with a gun like this. So I actually wouldn't recommend using this gun on this map, because even though while it is an aggressive assault rifle, it has some of the fastest handling properties in the assault rifle category, it doesn't have strafing speed. And I would recommend using guns on this map that have good handling stats, you know, like a sub or an assault rifle where you could use a stock that you can go ahead and put on and tune for aim walking speed, because if you're able to do that, you can corner peek people, right? That's one of the things you could do, is you can go up to a corner, you could pre-aim the corner, and then you could strafe around the corner to the area where you think somebody is. And you want to try to pre-aim them through the wall, right? Like if you know a guy's on a piece of cover, and you know where that piece of cover is on this map, for example, like let's say someone's on one of these cars, you can go ahead and line up your crosshair through the wall and then strafe around the corner and try to get a free and easy kill on that player. But if you're using something like this STB556, for example, that has really, really slow handling properties in the strafing category, then you're not going to be able to do that. So that's why people bunny hop a lot in this game, is because there are so many people in this game that, they just kind of sit on cover, and they, a lot of the guns might not have good strafing speed on the weapons. So a lot of people will bunny hop, and bunny hopping is also a way to break people off cover, right? Because the strafing speeds are pretty low on a lot of the weapons, and just by default, I mean, obviously you could put on attachments that's going to help with your strafing speed, but then a lot of the times it will tank other stats on the gun that are also very important. So a lot of people spam bunny hop, and bunny hopping was nerfed by increasing the aim down sight speed across the board on bunny hopping. So whenever you do that, you lose about 33% of your aim down sight speed, I believe. But it's still a useful tactic to use. And I know a lot of people, whether you're for bunny hopping or you're against bunny hopping, I will say this. Instead of being upset for players bunny hopping, you should be asking the developers to increase the strafing speed across the board, because as strafing speed becomes faster and you can move faster while aiming down the sights, bunny hopping becomes way less effective, because you can move easier while you're strafing, and again, you'll actually already be aiming down the sights and you'll have your gun up. So in Vanguard this wasn't an issue, right, because a lot of the guns had really fast strafing speed, but in this game the strafing speeds on most guns are pretty slow unless you build them for strafing. So that's just another little tip I want to give you guys. Strafing is so important on this map, because just being able to have your gun up and have your sights up and being able to jiggle peek corners, or just being able to strafe in gunfights and move back and forth, especially in this game, because your character actually leans when you're strafing back and forth, which can throw off people's aim. So it's just such an important thing, especially for a map like this where, you got to push people. Like I said, you guys have to push people off cover while you're playing this map, because there's not a lot of cover while you're trying to engage your opponents that have map control. So strafing speed definitely important, although in this gameplay I was playing my cards right, using my bunny hops and other things to help counteract the fact that I didn't have strafe speed. So anyways, the gameplay commentary here is pretty much coming to an end. Hopefully some of these tips helped you guys out, and hopefully they made sense. I like to really explain things here on this channel if you're new, and the reason for that is because I want to make it so you guys can understand why I do the things I do. Anyways, 99 to 9. Some of these guys are even like bunny hopping and trying to just try, but I don't know. I'll let you guys decide that in the comment section below. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace out.